Hello, welcome everybody. We'll be going into Zarzuckett versus Futsume for the Landfall tournament. Going to be Crane, Cute and Kikita, and Keeper of Air donating. Not the correct term. Hinting at Zarzukkett's well played Scorpion Splash against Seeker of Air. Kyuden is sour, so more than likely Echo Bird of some variety. Mulligans are done, and we see an opening of Ujina and Kaide, father and daughter, in a library. And on the other side, Kuzunobu and the Whisperer and the Diplomat. Not immediately great targets for Kageyu, but I mean, he can come in honored off of a Whisperer with 2 Fate, maybe. Retired to the Brotherhood, it's revealed on the Stronghold, so that's not going to be a problem, although it's usually not a really impactful Stronghold against Crane. Unless you're really pressuring them and they buy stuff with no fate for like a final push. We see Kaide bought with 2 fate and then fated. I would have potentially just passed because she can be voided, so or fire ringed, so you definitely get your body's worth of stuff. Depending on tempo you want to make, you probably do eat an earth ring of some variety. And of course Zarzuckett is on Mark of Shame for certain. And we flip Deserted Shrine. Oh yeah, of course, helping the discard outlet. One bird in the bin. Alongside a few of the smaller characters. Basically, only good target is a Prodigy, should it should ever come to that. But that's not for this turn, at least. So Zarzuckett as expected, contesting the Earth Ring because the board contesting rings like Void and Fire don't affect Kaide. You risk quite a bit committing Kaide to a conflict though this turn. Just because of Way of the Crane and then a Court Games or something. Can definitely get in the way. But we'll see the Forgotten Library being discarded when the province is broken after a Soul Beyond Reproach. Going Fire on Tsuma would be an idea. See Embrace the Void on Kaide. See Spell Scroll on Kaide. Which of course always gives +3 because Kaide makes everything a void conflict. Decides to play the spell crawl on the 1 Fate Kageyu. And also commits a Kyofuki's Hammer And then I assume we're going to see the fire conflict, although... Oh, and after all that, we don't even attack. If we were to attack, it would probably have to be military to not run into card games. So of course, not attacking and seeing if Crane wants to do military is also an option, depending on what provinces you have. Some of them maybe can be a bit more defensive, help you win the conflict. But it's a manicured garden, so a bit more fate advantage for the Phoenix player. Which is combined with Seeker of Air. But it was purely a scout. The diplomat isn't going to win the conflict. Fire can still be contested. Again, you'd also have to be a bit careful about for shame. Because if Kaide can be dishonored, we will see more than likely noble sacrifice used. This just smells like such a setup. A Tri-Maiden only finds Cloak of Night and discards Koigen and Tadaka. That's actually some pretty valuable discards on Zarzuckett's side. And good to know. But is hesitant to defend. Most of the power is easily get gotten rid of here. Of course, against the waves could be a thing, but if you for shame, they are basically forced to bow with Kaide. Blaze assassination on the Shrine Maiden. Now that to me just completely indicates that we're going to see Court Games Noble Sacrifice follow. I can only hope for the Phoenix player that they have a Court Games of their own. We know there's one in the bin. Ah, but there's Cloak of Night. Okay. Will we see that counted? Still deciding. Yeah, so Zarzuckett hand is Voice of Honor, Court Games, Noble Sacrifice. Futsume does have the Court Games. Does he have two Voice of... I think if you take into account... Okay, Defend Your Honor. Yeah, there had to be another cancel. So that's 1 against 4. I would 3-bid as Zarzuckett here just to be sure. Okay. But now there's no more counter against the... So you can draw your 2 cards off of Kageu. This is why I didn't want Phoenix to attack political. Like they killed that Kaide. Big misplay. And yeah, Crane will come out with really good amount of card advantage. Also, I was like, it might not have the noble sacrifice. It might actually just not have it and it be sort of a still worth it, but maybe desperate attempt. Or he could fire it. Okay, he fires it in the... Yeah, in the Fate phase. Okay, not really any difference. Like, you know, I think Phoenix indicated that they didn't have a conflict character or something, and you already had one ring, so... Boop, 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 boom. Not a great flop for Phoenix. Okay. Negotiator and Brash bought with one Fate. On the other side, Dreamer and Visionary bought with one Fate. Definitely will see Fushisho come in. I'm thinking, no, you can't chain Fushisho into like a the Voidmaster activation. I forget it. Ugina. Yeah, you can't chain it into a Ugina activation in the same conflict because Ugina comes in after Ring is climbed. And considering Fushisho from 4 Bears Echoes. Okay. We see a poke and a return. That might be to ensure that no defender on it cancels 4 Bears Echoes. Or there might not be a 4 Bears Echoes, but I would assume so. Yeah. But there's voice. No problem though, we could always recur the echoes if we want to. Okay, it's just a win, and Kaide comes back, removing the Fate from the Negotiator. I disagree a bit with how Zarzuckett bought for this turn. Definitely losing 5 Fate worth of buys to an easy Void Ring. It's not really good. Given there was Fate on the Void Ring and you opened yourself up to it. Now we see a Pol attack on Manicured, which is not defended, so there probably won't be a duel for it. But that means an easy break for Zarzuckett. Readying his brush. And being up 2 breaks. But yeah, very easily going to fall behind on board as when this guy there. And this guy that goes in for the attack. Okay, Miyako comes in. This one is the Visionary. Making skillless. Wait, doesn't attack with Kaide. Okay, interesting. This seems like a whoa. What are we expecting here? Like whispers of power? I don't really see how. I don't really see how Brush Summarize 3 power is better to defend you than the 2 of Miyako. Like if there's like a fan or something, then you're still losing. And you have 1 less power on the attack next turn, you're kind of on the race. But maybe there's something like an Elegant Tessin. And maybe Zarzuckett wants to be prudent, maybe he wants to buy Kuana on Honor to next turn, that's pretty good. Gets Keeper Fate. We see an Elegant Tessin. Not sure if the deck runs it. Okay, no Tessin. Into the unknown. Kuroimori. Emperor summons. Okay. Blocking the way finds another Futsume. Four Berserkers in the Futsume. And easily wins the conflict. Brings in Eugenia. It's definitely going to win the favor, I think, with 6 standing on her. See another embrace for 1 fate. Really low value embraces. And I think because of how everything went, I don't think Zarzuckett has to worry. They can easily attack into Emperor Summon this turn. Would they buy Kuwanan? Probably. Kuwanan on military or political can very much Take that third break. Definitely want to be careful with Fate though. Buys though the Challenger with no Fate. Okay. That is interesting. I would have heavily fated Koanon. Contested Void at least. But still gaining passing Fate, so might feel like he needed to buy the Challenger to ensure an RTO. And will Military Void do it? You use 2 cancels. The ones you can use into 4 Bears Echoes. Although, defending here is going to ensure that Defend Your Honor does the job. Okay, we see Cloud. Will we see preemptive clouds being removed? Currently has to do nothing, can just pass and break. Or still threaten the break. Zarzuckett's hand can be overall pretty expensive. So currently, I'm currently also not sure how Phoenix tries to defend. Maybe we'll see well, if we see a supernatural storm. Oh, he just decides to let it go. But yeah, Zarzuckett also didn't play Return the Offense, so... Okay, we dishonor Eugenia. Miyako comes in, dishonors the Scholar. Against the waves, ready Kaide. But yeah, Zarzuckett's got the break. But the next conflict is going to be difficult. This is why I don't necessarily like the Challenger buy. Because there's a Kaide on board. You kind of need to account like for 2 Void Rings, probably, and maybe even 3. Oh no, scratch that. You need to account for 2 Void Rings. That's why I don't like 2 Fate Koanon. And I don't see how you're going to defend it yet. If this goes, that means either the Brash Samurai or Miyako is gone, probably the Brash. And I don't think you can defend this. But I also don't really see what you're going to do after. Can you ready Koanon? I don't think so. The only real thing you want to do is defend, because the Solemn Scholars, well, you're not, after this Earth win, you're not going to attack either way with those Scholars. Yeah. Cloudy on Kaide. Kaide gets another attack. So now you need to win this military. I do think, however, that Zarzuckett can win this military, no problem. Brings in Kuanon already. He can be to defend your honor. Although there's not going to be a 4 Bears Echoes. Oh yeah, and Frostbitten Crossing can kill the cloud for you. So that's a 1 conflict. Hello. Supernatural Storm. See the final embrace. Which isn't going to matter much. Though Kuanon will have to defend the Water Ring next turn. But yeah, to be fair, I also thought he already played 3 of those. That's what it felt like, at least. There was one on... There was one on... How did he put it back on the deck? I don't quite... Oh, with the Visionary? Oh, yeah. Yeah, to shuffle Embrace the Void. There's no storm. Wow, okay. Duel to the death. On the Scholar. For good measure. But favor will remain in Zarzuckett's hand. Sorry, Futsume's hands. But we're looking at a big Kuanon, which potentially with RTO can have a really good attack onto Retire to the Brotherhood. Wait. But now he returned Embrace without it gaining any fate. Returning that embrace wasn't very good. The visionary returned the embrace at the start of the fate phase, but that means no fate. Like, amazing synergy. No copy of Kuanon. Yoshi isn't doing much, but the benevolent host can just bring in either Negotiator or Yoshi, and that will be more than enough punching power. And there's a dojo. So this is Zarzukkett's skill turn, and I think he can make it work. Void wielder does during a void conflict. Choose a participating character. The character selects one. Either discard a status token from it, move it home, or discard an attachment from it. Okay, so if it's no attachment and neutral, you can move anything home. So going home is probably the most used. During a void conflict is really restrictive. And yeah, we see Benevolent Host bringing Yoshi as said. No activation on Yoshi though. Will Futsume be able to defend? Void Ring being contested. I mean, being chosen for Ethereal Dreamer. Although I'm not sure that is a ring you should be fighting for. What you should be doing is trying to go water, and if Zarzuckett doesn't have the RTO or has the RTO, try to have him make a mistake and then go back with your Fable Ground if he doesn't play the RTO. Or if we're really tricky and we're playing all and nothing, and he goes to resolve the Void Ring, but then actually it's the Water Ring. Pew 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 pew. But Zarzuckett is going to take into account Forbaz Echoes and defend Your Honor, but correctly plays return the offense first, so he'll remain standing. We have the crane on Yoshi. I mean, political military, there's not very much skill for Phoenix to work with. Supernatural Storm, still good though currently. But it's going to be hard. And if we choose military, Kuanon. Wait, sorry, I missed. I apparently missed Gina coming in and getting cancelled. But okay, we have an all-out political attack, which another return to the offense can be played. Trick of the light on Doji Kowanon, but Doji Kowanon doesn't work in political. So okay, Supernatural Stone. Storm Scholar. To be honest, I mean, he might want a fate, but I'd also rather just see a nurturing here. Phoenix needs to commit, and getting more resources out of the Phoenix at this point is, I think, just a little bit better. See Mark of Shame come down, goes on Suki. Taking away the 3 power she has. Spell Scroll. I guess Air ignores all possible Spell Scroll buffs. Spell Scroll on Suki can bring back Clarity or Supernatural Stone. But T-House is going to prevent that and any potential other Spell Scrolls. Leave your scrolls at the door, people. Don't take them into the T-House. My Ancestor Strength, that might just be Defender on it. Yes. I think Zarzuckett has this. So yeah, no strength increase, no more fate. We can still see an activation of Kunisawa for Supernatural Storm. Yes, that's it. Like Void Wielder is like the Void conflict only for its ability is really, really restrictive. Also, mainly because most of the ways to give the Ring of Void element is Kaide, so that means you're committing Kaide and the Void Wielder in conflicts, which is more a late game scenario. Or like end of the mid game scenario. Where you're either pushing for the 3rd province or something. So it's really a blank Shugenja for the most part, I think. Whispers of Power, pretty good card in this scenario, but there is the final Voice of Honor. And Futsume has no more power. Alright. Alright. Everyone, thank you all for watching. This was once again Ikamotomaya, happy to bring you more L5R content. Have a nice rest of your day, wherever you are. Goodbye.